In the morning, 21/6/2025, the United States has about 125 aircraft ACF-18 to launch an attack on Biohyasize, Iran's main nuclear facility. Each major attack is 67 B-bombers, 2 Spirits from the Air Force Base, Wiseman in the state of Missouri. At the same time, about 30 cruise missiles launched from ships, American nuclear submarine operating secretly in the area, aimed at enrichment facilities. Uranium is deep underground. Although on the surface, it seems like a simple campaign, it's actually a complex military operation. Requires a high level of coordination and logistics. The B-2 is a fuel-intensive vehicle, so the aerial refueling is an essential condition for completing long-range missions. It's this factor that significantly increases complexity and risk of the campaign. The KC refueling aircraft, a BA-5 shadow tanker to take on the role of aerial refueling, cannot operate alone. They need the support of fighter planes, FA-18 and EA electronic warplanes, 18G Cloud. These escorts don't just protect planes refueling from threats, it also supports B-2, avoid detection and attack by air defense systems. The campaign begins in the quiet night at Guam Air Force Base, where the B-2 Spirit pilots prepare for a flight across 6 continents. Even though it can fly continuously, thanks to its fuel under the air, where they still face the limits of their endurance. To minimize the risk, the U.S. has deployed more forces at Allied bases in Qatar, Diego Garcia Island, and maybe even at Anderson Base on Guam, one of the strategic locations, top of the U.S. military. The deployment of the 09th Bomber Squadron to Diego Island, Garcia, to help America set up a starting point safe for military operations. From the Middle East to Africa and the Indo-Pacific region, this is a well-calculated strategic move to improve the survival of the attacking force and expand the scope of operations in the Arabian Sea. The aircraft carriers and escort submarines are also deployed synchronously from American carrier ICE, FA-18 Super Hornet, and EA-18 Girl Clover, launched with a clear mission. Some will take on roles through the air defense system. Iran, the rest, protect the aerial refueling formation, key to sustaining the entire campaign. In large-scale refueling aircraft, KC ABA-5 shadow tanker filled with fuel, operating in the airspace over Saudi Arabia. Though not a major force in the campaign, the crew understood that their mission can play a role key in deciding to fail. As the B-2 bombers began their journey, their characteristic serrated shape almost vanish in the night. Invisibility is an important layer of protection, but the distance is still the biggest challenge. After hours of continuous flight, the B-2 approaches the rendezvous point above the island canal where it's happening refueling operations in the air. F-38 planes flying around escorts ensure absolute safety for the process refueling, which is extremely sensitive. Throughout the journey, electronic warfare aircraft EA-18 G Cloud, emitting strong jamming signal, blur the trail of the airstrike formation before the enemy's electronic surveillance systems at the same time. At U.S. underground command centers, military experts are following. Watch live the whole campaign through real-time data. They can be ready. Card and adjust the force immediately if the Iranian radar system detected any unusual signals from the battle formation. Invasion of Iranian airspace, it's a big challenge for any air force at all. 17B Stealth Bomber 2 forced to fly at very high altitude according to the carefully calculated route to evade air and missile defense systems. The defense has been determined before. Under the ground, the harsh Iranian terrain, with the interweaving of rugged mountains and large desert areas, there seems to be nothing to take advantage of as a refuge. However, stealth technology and B's radar-absorbing Shell 2 help aircraft silently through the enemy's dense detection network. As nuclear facilities become more and more clearly within striking range, the crew is faced with a tactical decision. Use long-range missiles to strike from a safe distance, or risk a descent to drop bombs. Through bombs, key directly at reinforced targets of the types of penetrating bombs that are prominently used. This is GBU-57, a weapon developed specifically for B-2 Spirits to destroy fortified targets. It's deep underground. GBU-57, also known as Marcy Arnold Penetrator. It's a nearly 14,000 kilogram bomb. Due to the large size and volume, each B-2 can only carry 2 in its weapons bay. Does not use the GBU-57 free-fall engine from high altitude. Combined with 4-wing navigation and navigation system, military GPS to achieve maximum accuracy. The shell of the bomb, it's made from super-strong special steel alloy. Permitted through the soil, stone, or reinforced concrete up to 60 meters thick, destroying underground structures such as bombs, control center, or nuclear lab. However, the access and attacking these targets is not easy. Iran still has a dangerous air defense network. This includes the older MiG-29 and F-14 fighters. It's still capable of causing damage. If we pick up a signal from U.S. Air Force, B-2 is not designed to engage directly on no. So if they're intercepted, they're almost defenseless. In Iran's command centers, ground controllers find every way to fix the noise signal caused by the U.S. to guide the interception team respond. U.S. forces deployed strong repressive measures. EA aircraft 18G Clover signal jamming of radar frequencies and contact information make the Iranian defense system fall into a state of disorder, greatly impairs the ability to coordinate between units. If we find a way that Iran can approach the B-2 formation, F-38 Super Hornet is ready for action. It's guided by an early warning control plane. Flying in international waters, the United States can fire from great distances, force the enemy to retreat, or risk being destroyed. Hispand, shortly after the bomb was dropped, the B-planes Point Ds immediately divert to the west. Planes 2 avoid a reaction from the Iranian air defense system. Behind them is the sky Smilyankas illuminated by waves of anti-aircraft missiles for airmails. Aside 1 month of Iran shoots back in despair and read a console. Sitting the mind escapes to be Ni Roli and continue 10 thanks to this. Jector defensive position, tropped it out. The Axis Eris after a positive lockout as support escorts through Iraqi airspace in the western safe zone. The B-KC aircraft Abada Height Kalmi Strider Challenger to Company's Ulisht. Continue your journey back to base. The finances and great stealth strike teams Fort 2 Raptors deployed for enhanced protection with modern sensors that are constantly working. The finances camped herring with this treat known and Redis commercial towers to occluded the Hindau Fathers graders and deal with any remaining threats on the way out. The formation Fight 2 has makes the money out and returned it help them safely. After most of dangerous mission of the campaign, it will be a known to fully assess the effectiveness of the bomb. Now the fighters Croats tin with a now Victi 57%ing Drew. The house understand our stage of now. The first stage is the B-bomb platform. The presenting spirit flying at very high altitude to optimize while drop and ensure maximum penetration speed when reaching the target position and technical conditions are met. The pilot will open the hold and drop the bomb. Next is the navigation system. The Bada Height Kalmi is equipped with modern positioning technology and other 3 combination of military GMPS and the inertial navigation system that allows you to identify the target, gone, even under strong jamming conditions. The phase becoming out of veil is orbital adjustment. Many FOUD instead of using propulsion is gone. The Percentic uses 4 navigation blades will forms in the tail section to adjust the flight path in time. The design requires welcome so freed very high altitude. Enough space to adjust on free and stay on targets underground. The stage in 4 is V Alonjo and touch and brake and a weighted of nearly 14,000 kilograms in free fall from high altitudes. The bomb creates a huge V Alonjo and impact force. The house of super form-out alloy steel construction, the 57 can penetrate more than 60 meters meriture reinforced concrete, allowed a demolition. The nuclear facilities are heavily protected. Finally, the detonation phase. The Finance 7 uses 2 filling with our bomb and Tiamenifine managing to a group apply of south construction of clients. The rabbles to well nearly real defension towers by explosion, and closer taking fall with the Victies and Countal Stardust, and de Young calls the store of the mission from the risks. The fan, that's triggered by a gravity sensor, and that rest of the explosion uses that time mode. They're both in the tail to listen free, and now brazing the tail when it reaches a predetermined depth, the system will inchested-baited detonate in a balanced stage in the natural explosion. The currently a managing here of an artificial earthquake. It is enough to be destroy the bomb pre-fall and underground. Iran's nuclear facilities, designed with great depth and multiple layers of reinforced concrete protection, for example, Natan's facility consists of 6 floating trains and BA underground structures. It's too large enough to hold up to 50,000 machines. Centrifuges for the targets. It doesn't have to go as deep as the surface. In Natus, US uses cruise missiles launched from 2 submarines to strike accurately. When there is a launch order, the catapult cover on the submarine is open. Pneumatic high pressure propels rocket to the surface, then the jet engine starts missile wings bungra, and the journey completely controlled, automatically by the navigation system. Advance. The results of these attacks are clear. The names the fire destroyed most of the system sphere of uranium enrichment plant and knocked down the upper structure of the plant test fuel. The opposite Fordow facility is a particularly difficult target. It's deep underground and it's reinforced. Israel has tried to attack before, but it can't destroy the core. The US has used about 12 Gub-57 to focus on attacking Fordow. Penetrating depth up to 60 meters helped the bomb. This hits directly at the center of the assembly rich in uranium. The results showed that the Fordow had been severely damaged. This is the blow directly into Iran's nuclear program. The US moved B-2. Spirit in this campaign is not just an option-effective combat, it's also a strategic deterrent. Washington is ready to deploy military technologies, the most advanced to disable any target protected at the highest level. The content is over. Thank you for following. Hello, and see you in the next video.